Bronco Nation here with Shelby Hall and Laura Zielinski, who is new to the Bronco Nation. Super excited to have her. We're here in Townsend, Tennessee at Supercell East. I wanted to take you guys on the ride and drive experience they're doing here for customers, reservation holders, anyone who wants to stop by and take a ride. So Shelby Hall needs no introduction, but she is our guide for today, and we're going to go play in some Broncos. Isn't that right, Shelby?
Yes, this is my first time in Tennessee, so
really?
Yeah, even this far east, really off-roading. So it's been fun. Yesterday it was sunny and dry, and it's been raining all day today. So our route has changed a little bit, just like the terrain of it has, and it's been really fun actually to take the Bronco in some wet mud, and I've been using the mud and ruts go mode, which I hadn't before.
Well, that's new.
It's pretty rad.
Because the other rides we've done, like way out west, we've heard from a lot of people online. They're like, "This is great, but I live in Tennessee or Vermont or New York, and I'm not, the likelihood of me taking my Bronco to Moab and Johnson Valley is just not that great. So, like, what are some things I can do out east?" So we hope that this will show y'all a little bit, not only what the Bronco can do, we know it's capable, but we've all done dry, rocky, sandy stuff. So it's kind of nice that it's muddy and rainy today because it makes things up.
Yeah.
I wore the wrong shoes though.
I mean, you know that I love Baja mode.
Yeah.
And it's probably my favorite mode, which absolutely not the mode for out here.
Yeah.
That's for really going fast through the desert. So it's really interesting to feel the difference from using like the slippery mode or mud and ruts versus like sand mode or Baja mode, where it just really highlights. You can feel how it holds the gears longer. I can actually feel that the steering is tighter. It's been fun to play around with it.
So we're in a four-door Badlands Sasquatch? Is it Sasquatch? Yes.
Yep.
With a soft top. So I thought the soft top was, Shelby got mad at me because she didn't get mad at me. She was like, never in the soft top. I'm like, not
mad.
On the highway. So we'll just give you the decibel reading. We're going 45. That just can't be right. I don't believe it. Maybe it is right. Okay, well, 45, it's 66, well, I'm talking, but 66, 67 decibels, just to give you all a little point of clarification there.
So I'm going to go ahead and toggle into mud and ruts just right off the highway. You can
First off, this is just a pretty trail.
It is beautiful.
It's really cool.
It's so green.
Done stuff like this.
I'm not used to this much greenery.
I know. We were driving yesterday, and my videographer is from Salt Lake, and he was like, "Wow, I didn't realize how many trees y'all have." I'm like, yep. Nice little Velocity Blue Wild truck there. So now that you've seen all the colors here, did you decide?
I have absolutely made my decision. Yes, and I mean, I even have like a top 3. So I have been able to nail it down.
We quizzed her on the names yesterday.
Yep, and man, I'm getting good.
She was like 90%.
So Oxford
85%.
White.
Is your number one?
Number one.
Really?
This setup.
We're in an Oxford White Bronco.
This is Oxford White. It's got the black soft top. It's got the Sasquatch package. It also has the luxe interior.
Yep.
So I really love having the electric seats. I love having the steering wheel heater.
And you like the leather.
And I like the leather.
Okay.
I love the leather.
Over MGB.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
you said Oxford White, then Race Red or Rapid Red?
Race Red. And then the Velocity Blue.
Bold colors.
Yeah.
There you go.
Love it.
So, I think something we talked about in Moab is like how well Bronco does on unimproved roads, like the one we're on.
Yes.
It just eats it up. And so for those of you who live out east and have roads like this everywhere, I live in Atlanta, so North Georgia has tons of stuff like this. But like this is where Bronco shines. You couldn't really do this in a Jeep in the same way that you can do it in a Bronco.
It's
And I think that's
so
what sets it
comfortable.
apart. And I know like people give so much flack, well, the Jeep community gives so much flack for IFS, and because it can't, whatever, they're just married to IFS, which I can understand. But you couldn't do what we're doing in a Jeep and be comfortable or not have to go visit the chiropractor afterwards. So, and that's one thing you don't know until you ride and experience it.
For sure.
Is, it doesn't, you can't translate that through camera or text or an article until you actually ride it. We'll do
So
that.
in Moab,
Yeah.
I drove a two-door the whole time,
Yep,
which was
two-door
my
first edition.
time driving a two-door. And, it was so perfect for that terrain.
Yeah.
Having that short wheelbase, that was great. And here we have the four-door, which, we all know that the longer wheelbase gives us a softer ride.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't, it limits your turning radius a little bit and doesn't make you quite as nimble. But actually, you'll see out here, these are tight trails.
Yeah.
And being able to use donut mode, trail turn assist.
Yeah, we're actually using TTA as TTA was intended.
Yes, it really is. So
Yes.
I'm really excited to show you that. That actually blew me away, being able to use trail turn assist in
like
its
we're in the
natural, element.
Yeah.
It's natural habitat.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do some rock crawling. So I did put it in neutral,
Okay.
shifted into rock crawl mode.
Oh, like right there. Oh.
We're gonna make a tight turn here, so I'm not going to lock the front diff until we get kind of pointed in the direction we want to go.
This looks like, wow, some jagged
I
rocks.
was gonna say some rocks have been moved, that's for sure. So I want the front diff locked here, so I went ahead and manually turned that on.
Got the nice camera out the front. Is the camera a useful feature to you?
I love it.
You do? Like a champ.
That thing is so smooth.
Well, and I think something like how quickly we all did, like we did
Yes.
that. Like you don't have to, it didn't take a
No.
bunch of effort to switch it into rock crawl and put all the blockers on, all that. It just
Not at
goes.
all. I probably talked about it more than actually the time
True.
that it took.
Back we go.
So here we go. I put it into slippery mode. So this actually puts us into 4 automatic, which is like all-wheel drive.
Yep. So you mentioned we're in the 2.3 liter 4-cylinder.
Yes.
And I know a lot of people, you're mad that there's no V8, which, whatever. But you were mentioning before we started filming that you've been driving this all day and you just don't think it's underpowered. Like you don't.
It is not underpowered.
You're not wanting. I mean, we're charging up this hill and it's not
Right.
missing a beat.
I have told other people riding with me that were in the 2.3 and they absolutely were floored.
Really?
They thought it was the 2.7 for sure. So
this
for
looks-
this next corner, this is where we're going to do trail turn assist. And I do want my front blocker locked. So I do have to put it into 4 low to engage the front locker. Turn on trail turn assist, which you can have it on
Are
while
we
you're
going up?
moving forward.
Going up this thing?
We are going to go up this thing.
No way. Holy crap. because
yes.
that's my first time using like trail turn assist for what it was intended,
Yes.
not just like fooling
To do
around in
donuts.
sand and mud. But like that was
incredible.
really impressive.
I know. And you're like, no way, we're not gonna make it. We're not gonna make it.
I thought we
and
were
then
going
it just
down.
hooks up.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
What'd you think, Laura?
I love that. That's
loved it?
amazing.
Was
I
it?
mean, first with the hill, my Jeep could never in multiple ways. I mean, it's more smooth going up the rocks than it is just on highway with my Jeep, and that's insane to me.
Wow.
And then just the power, and I'm absolutely blown away. This is amazing.
That seriously
cool.
was really
Right.
cool.
I know.
Okay.
I've never experienced something like that before. It's really cool.
I would be sketched to do that in like a side-by-side, but I mean, but for a vehicle of this length,
Yes.
wow. I'm impressed y'all found that turn to do.
Well,
Yeah, you forget you're in the four-door.
Yeah,
yes.
that was really cool.
So honestly, when we came and pre-ran it, I was like, man, the 4-door's never gonna make that corner. The 2-door, I wish I had a 2-door now.
Yeah.
But no way.
But that's cool though, because you get genuine reactions from
Yep.
people who are like, no way this is gonna do that,
Yep.
and then it does it. And there wasn't an out there. It's not like you can just back down.
Well, you could make like a 20-point turn.
But wow. Yeah, that.
So rad. I love it.
And I think that's a lot of people, and we've seen this in the comment section too, online, is like, okay, that's a great feature, but like, that's useless. Like, I'm never gonna use that. And I guess if you're in sand and silt and mud and like out in JV, then you may not. But on stuff like this, so for your East Coast folks, on trails like this, with obstacles and turns like that, like it really
Yes.
is. Ford didn't but create and build that technology into the vehicle because it wasn't going to be used. They knew what they were doing.
We are going to go down this slippery, pretty steep hill. So I'm going to use trail control. So pretty simple. All I do is hit this middle button and it tells me on the dash screen that it is enabled. I'm going to use the set buttons just like cruise control. So I want to go a little bit faster than 1 mile an hour. So we're rolling and I'm going to move it up to 4 miles an hour. And it'll keep us
We're at a 17% decline, 18%. Nothing crazy, but it just
Nothing
keeps
crazy.
you.
Yeah, there's some debris in the road. Like I said, it's kind of muddy, so it just helps keep us at bay and the vehicle at a speed that's easy to control.
And and we know a lot of you who are going to be buying Broncos are very experienced off-roaders and know what you're doing, but that's not always the case for everyone. And so for someone, this trail may be basic for some people, but I think that's what's really cool about Bronco is that it's able to be catered to a whole variety of people. So for someone who's new that, a grade like this might be intimidating, they just want that added level of safety or assurance that if something happens, the vehicle's kind of got them. So, I don't know. It's a cool feature to have.
And I really agree. I'm gonna deactivate it, so
Okay.
I'm just gonna hit that middle button again. When I first jumped in a Bronco, I thought, I'm a seasoned driver,
Yep.
I know how to brake down a hill, no big deal. But then I wanted to run an experiment and actually see what it felt like and figure out what the use really was all about and not be too smart for the vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
So I ran an experiment. We had a super steep, I don't know if you guys remember, but we had a very steep descent in Johnson Valley.
Yeah.
That was very loose dirt. There was big rocks under there. So the first time I went down
One of your famous TikToks is from.
you know what? Yes.
She's famous on TikTok, guys, if you don't know.
So I went down it the first time and I was like, I know how to brake. I'm gonna do it myself. So I did. And then I did it again and I used trail control. And I'm not kidding, the trail control had so much more stability than I did because every time I released the brake myself, momentum caught the vehicle. So then you'd have to slam on the brakes again. So
it just kind of becomes
it was just this
lurchy.
constant, trying to find that perfect balance where I feel like the trail control holds the vehicle so stable. It felt really safe. There wasn't a lot of lurching. The vehicle wasn't slipping side to side. So
even the most seasoned drivers find benefit
it has a place.
it.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Bronco Sport. So while these Bronco Sports are going by, you raced and won in a Bronco Sport.
I did.
For people who are like, oh, the Bronco Sport's not a real Bronco, like, yeah, it's not a full-size Bronco. But for those who may not be ready for the full hoopla that this thing is, what can you say about, what's your elevator pitch on Bronco Sport?
So
as a person who's raced in one.
They're two totally different vehicles, and they're made for two totally different types of people. And the way that I think of it is that the Bronco Sport is designed to take you to your adventures. So whether you're hiking, you're mountain biking, maybe you're going to camp at a campground, the Bronco Sport will take you every place you want to go. And the full-size Bronco is the adventure. That's where you're camping out of your vehicle. You're taking that wheeling for the day.
I haven't heard that analogy. I really like that. That's a good one.
It just speaks volumes to me. And obviously, Penny and I won the Rebelle in the Bronco Sport. So it's highly capable.
Shelby's got a lead foot, guys. Hey.
Speed racing.
Oh, I'm pretty sure it was you. You're in the red vehicle.
Oh, right.
Race red.
So it took us everywhere we needed to go, 1,500 miles, from South Lake Tahoe to Glamis and everything in between,
and
Johnson Valley
else.
and Dumont. I mean, we had
Not just did it, but won it.
So I think that, I had to take a little bit of time to get familiarized with the vehicle. I am used to a full-size vehicle. So it took me, half a day to just become acquainted with the layout of the vehicle and what it has to offer. And then it was so much fun. We had a blast.
You guys looked like the pictures were really cool.
It's a great stepping stone if someone wants to get into off-roading. It's a way to kind of dip your toe in and get prepared for a full size. So, I don't know. I'm a proponent.
That's awesome. Now let me ask you this. Dream scenario, you have a Bronco for a week or whatever, back on the highway now. If you could take a Bronco off-roading anywhere, where would it be and why? Like if you're like, here Shelby, we're going to give you a Bronco to go on an adventure. Do you have one place that you'd be like, I want to go, I want to take it and explore? Because as you said, the Bronco is the adventure. Where would you take your Bronco on an adventure?
I would take it to Mexico. I would take it to Baja.
Because your family has heritage.
That, and I've been to Baja almost every year for most of my life.
Really? That's really cool.
But it's always been for racing.
Yeah.
And so, although you get to see a lot, you're there to work.
Yeah.
You're there for a job. And I would love to have the opportunity to go and explore. And if I see a cool mission that I can actually pull over and stop and check it out and go to the ocean and see what's happening there and climb over. There's so many cool things in Baja in one peninsula that I would love to do that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
If I could go anywhere, I would. I want to take one all the way up, from Seattle to Alaska and go explore Ketchikan and Denali National Park. That would be my dream. Those cool ferries where you put the car ferry on, like the Matthew McConaughey Lincoln commercial, that sort of vibe. Laura, what about you? Where would you take a Bronco?
Everywhere.
Everywhere. I'll go with you.
Yeah. We're gonna put you two in a Bronco.
Okay.
We're giving y'all a camera. Go take it on an adventure.
I just want to live with it and just live my life how I like to do it, my outdoor life, but with capable vehicles. And I think I would try out a whole lot more places than I've off-roaded previously because of the go modes. I think that would help me out because rock crawling is not something I've ever done.
Yeah.
So I would feel more confident with that.
Well, sweet. Well, Shelby, where can these lovely people find you online?
So I am on Instagram the most.
Okay.
So you can look me up. Shelby.hall.nv.
Shelby.hall.nv. Links right here.
Right here. And I think you could maybe find me on some TikTok videos.
So if you're not following us on the Bronco Nation TikTok, Shelby was actually the one who like blew our TikTok page up. So she's linked there. I think it's the same handle. So we're gonna get her TikTok rolling.
If you don't
She's
know
a
what
little-
donut mode is, check out TikTok.
Donut mode. So donut mode is a term that Shelby's patented and we're gonna license. And we have donut mode merch coming. Is that true?
I think we do.
So Shelby's gonna have some
Yeah.
sick donut mode merch. We're working on the art right now. It's really freaking. At least I think it's cool.
I think it's awesome.
She's too nice to like tell me her real opinions.
I love
hope
it.
she loves.
I had no idea that a donut could look so badass.
That's okay. Fair enough. So stay tuned for that. It'll be on our pages and her pages and all that stuff.
It's like sweet but gnarly.
Yeah, exactly. They're perfect analogy.
Yeah.
Plus, we've heard from a lot of women out there who are like, we don't feel represented in the merchandise category. So Shelby's
gonna
gonna
take
take
care of
care of
that.
you guys. So stay tuned for that. We're working through the details right now. It's not an easy process, but it's a fun process.
It is.
So stay tuned for that. Laura, any closing words? How was your first Bronco off-roading ride?
It was amazing.
Awesome.
I think that anybody who gets a ride for sure will know that they have to have this vehicle.
Yeah.
I think obviously people placed all their orders beforehand, so
Yep.
they knew they wanted it, but just hearing everybody exit the rides, they're blown away by the capability, and I am too. Even having a Jeep, a lifted Jeep, off-roading, like I'm used to some of that trails, but not in this kind of capability at all, so.
In comfort.
Yeah, way to go. Way to go, Bronco. Way to go to Shelby.
So, moral of the story, Laura's being converted. Shelby's still awesome. Shelby's coming out with merch. The Bronco's great as always. And, yeah. So we had
Trail turn assist.
Trail turn assist
is
really
still my
works.
favorite feature.
It's Shelby approved. Perfect. Okay. Well, thanks so much for joining us today, guys. We really appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed a sneak peek into the demo rides here at Supercell East in Townsend, Tennessee. If you're not already, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the like button. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments or over on the forums. And of course, if you're not following us or Shelby on social media, you can follow us at the Bronco Nation on all platforms and Shelby at shelby.hall.nv. Hope to see you guys soon at another Bronco event. Until then, we'll see you out on the roads. Bye.